It is a secret key value. Okay, so instead of accessing directly, suppose I have my SQL connection, right? SQL or this connection, right? So if you click on here, go to overview section, let me close this Discord. Go to the connection string. So what I will do is I will encrypt this connection string, okay, and I will make it into the key vault. Key vault is nothing but, so you have a wallet, right? So your personal wallet. What your personal wallet contain? Your money or your debit card or your personal things. Okay. Same way the key vault in Azure key vault, we will store the personal secrets like passwords and your connection strings. So whatever the important security related things we are storing in the key vault. It's same like your wallet thing. Okay, we are storing our secrets in our wallets. Okay, important items. So same like that way Azure, we are maintaining our data more secured way, so we are using the key vaults. Okay, so in next class I will create a Azure key vault. Okay, but meantime, so I will use directly this connection string. So my connection string is free trial. This subscription is my free trial. And your storage account, what is our storage account? So it's a order prod sales. How you will know what is your storage account now? Go to the storage accounts and we will be able to find your storage account name. So order prod sales, so this is the one, our storage account. Select the order prod sales. Okay, that's it. Nothing else we need to configure here. Okay, at this moment. So we have parameters, and this one also we'll discuss going forward for the dynamic purpose. Okay, so currently we are doing the static one, so that's why I'm only showing the static things. Test connection, click on test. So always once you create the connection, test the connection whether it is working or not. This is very important thing. So after that, create the connection. Okay, this will be create the connection. You see SRC sales data. So that like connection string is created. Now, so this is the only source. Now we need one more, right? SQL Server is the connection we required. Okay, so now click on new. Okay, so what is my database? SQL. If you type SQL here, you see there are multiple SQL servers. So which one is ours? So Postgres SQL and database MySQL and Cosmos, these are different. If you see Azure SQL database, so this is the one our SQL Server database. Select this one, continue. Okay, same way I'm making it as a DRGT sales data. So same way it will ask all these things. So integration runtime by default it is there, and here also keyword is there, connection string is there. So time being we are just selecting the going with the connection string. Okay, so here Azure subscription, enter manually means you have to enter the server name, everything manually. Okay, but if you select this Azure subscription, by default it will show the drop down. Okay, so these are very helpful if you in real time, if you don't know what is your server name and all, you can select the drop down. Okay, here you will find your subscription. So it's my free trial, and the server name, my server name is sales DBMS. Because order sales DBMS I'm not selecting because the password is not available with me. Okay, so sales DBMS which I'm using. Okay, so in the sales DBMS, so server name is this one, sales DBMS. How to find that one? So go to the your SQL Server database and sales data. So you see here sales DBMS is the server name and this is the database name. Okay, you can find here also. First one is the server name and second one is the database name. So I have selected the server name as sales DBMS. How I found? So in the first section is the server name and second one is the database name. Okay, you can find here also. If you see here sales DBMS is the server name. Okay, it's not required to give entire thing. Okay, you can just give sales DBMS. Okay, you can give entire thing also, there is nothing harm in this. Okay, because if you enter manually it will be enabled. Okay, so you can give this server name, entire database name, server name here. Okay, so like this way if you wanted to enter manually you can enter the connection string, but when you select here so it will show the drop down. So let me go to the file Azure subscription and the database name. So the database name is the sales database. Okay, master one is the by default one. If you go with any SQL Server Management Studio, master database is the default one. Okay, sales data is the one which we need to use. If you see here, sales data is the one which I have selected as a database. So now there are various kind of authentication types here. So system assigned and user assigned. So both will be there. So currently we don't have all these principles because you can directly log in with your email ID. If it assigned to so system or user assigned, you can give your email ID, you can authenticate this. But currently I have selected the SQL authentication. So that's why I am giving my user ID and password. So let me give my user ID. For all everything we can store in the key vault, your password and your username. You see here you have to use the key vault or password. Okay, currently we are directly giving, right? So that's why I have given my password and do the test connection. You will get some error. Okay, let's see. Okay, currently we have not received any error. Okay, usually in Azure we will get some firewall errors. Okay, so your firewall, when you use with the networks, your firewall setting will be changed. Okay, so to set that firewall settings, the simple way is like we have the network option. Okay, so go to the database section, click on database and network. Yeah, go to here. Yeah, so 1 second, here set firewall. So in the set firewall section, so currently my ID added here. Okay, so let me delete this one. Okay, let me delete this all these firewalls. Okay, now do a test connection here. Okay, let me disable and let me try to sync this one. Let me go back Azure SQL. So I just wanted to show that error, so let's see if we get that error. Go to the free trial and select the server name, sales DBMS and sales data. Let me give the name. Let's test the connection. Okay, anyway, let's see next time. Okay, usually if the firewall is not allowed, Yeah, then we will get this kind of error, or otherwise let me try to switch my network. Let me switch my network and then try to add this one. Okay, let's see in tomorrow class also, but this is just error to show how to block in your practice time. So if you get this kind of error, so just do something like this. Okay, I will show you how to do enable your firewall settings. Okay, go to the overview section. So Azure SQL database and activities, set firewall section. So if you get that error, what you need to do, add your client IP. Okay, add your client IP and click save. That's it. In real time also we used to get this IP errors. Okay, because this is very important, this setting. So if you are not able to access any database, try to add this client server address and your IP, click save. Okay, that's it. So now the connection I am able to create, because we used to face in this issue real time, every time the firewall is locked. Okay, to enable that one, you can just click on this, add your client IPv4. Okay, so now your source and target is ready. Let's move on to the author section and click on the copy data activity. Now our work is very easy. Now we have created the linked services. Okay, we just need to select this into the your drop down. Okay, so click on new and here select the block storage account. So our file is the, so there are various files. If you see here, every row, binary, delimited text, and Excel, JSON, ORC, Parquet, and XML. So these are the 8 files we deal with actually. So these 8 files are very important. So what is our file? You see here, CSV is our file. Okay, we have to select this option. Okay, so if your file is every row, you have to select every row. Your file is JSON, you have to select JSON. Your file is Parquet, you have to select Parquet. So Parquet is very powerful, which is the one we will discuss more with this Parquet when we go with the Azure Databricks. Okay, so now we can use the delimited text file, but we can convert to Parquet also, this file. Okay, why the Parquet is very powerful? Because this data is in an encrypted format. Okay, so now this file everyone can see, right? If you open this file, you can view this file, but you cannot view Parquet file directly. Okay, either you have to use certain tools to view this Parquet file. Okay, so now I'm selecting the delimited text file. Click on the delimited text because my file is the delimited text file. SRC data and select the drop down and SRC sales data. This linked service I have created. I'm just selecting this linked service. Okay, go to here, browse. So click on the file path, browse, orders. Okay, my file is a computer sales file. Okay, just select this file and this first row as a header. Okay, let me show you. I am not clicking anything currently. Click it as the import schema means it directly take from the connection string. Or sample file, we no need to click sample file. Sample file means you have to select some dummy file format. Okay, none means nothing, it won't select anything. And I'm using the connections or store because it gets from my linked service. Whatever the linked service is there, right? From there it gets the schema, everything. So click OK. I will show the difference of this first row as a header, and if you select, what will happen. If you did not select, what will happen. Click OK. So now, so there is a good feature we have. So in the copy data activity, so that is the one is preview data. You can preview your data before loading into your SQL table or anything. Okay, click on preview data. So you can preview your data. This is very good feature actually. So you can view your data before loading. You see here prop 01, prop 1, prop 2, prop 3. System automatically created a fields, okay, by default. But actual our fields are company name, product name, price, location. How to add these fields into the header? Okay, so it should be, these are all headers, right? This is not a record actually. So this is a header in the my file. So now to make it as a header, go to the settings, open the connection here and go to here. So we just need to select the option first row as a header. Okay, click this one, that's it. First row as a header and try to preview the data. Okay, you see now the difference. Company name is my header and product name is my header and price is the header and location is the header. Okay, so we just did one settings like first row as a header. That is the difference between first row as a header and without selecting the first row as a header. Okay. So now go to the pipeline one. So now our source configuration is ready. Okay, so these are just the settings. So where we will go all these options, I will help you in the next class. Okay, we will do with the scenarios with the copy data activity, then I will show all this. Okay, only the wildcard means so whatever available in the folder, right? So it will take all the files. Currently we are dealing with only one file, right? If you wanted to deal with 10 files or 20 files, you can select the wildcard. Okay, and prefix means .csv, .txt, txt like JSON. So you can select any of this prefix. Okay, instead of suppose you have multiple files like CSV, JSON and .txt. At that case you want only the CSV files, you can add the prefix. Okay, so that it will only select that CSV files or a text files. So now I'm configuring the sync. So my sync is the SQL Server database. Click on new connection and SQL, Azure SQL database, continue in SRC. I'm just writing. So I have already created a linked service. So you see here TRGT sales data. Okay, so now what is my table? My table is a company sales. You can search here company sales. Okay, so again this is the same thing, it gets from your connection string. Click OK. So we have selected the source and sync now. Okay, so now what we need to do here is, so there are some couple of options but we don't touch now. Okay, this is the direct load. So upset is there and store procedure is there. So upset means it's a incremental. Okay, I will come with the next point here. Okay, first we will do the insert. Okay, and then we will do with the upset. Okay, so now go to the mapping section. So here you have to import the schema. Okay, if you import the schema, so it's a mapping. So whatever the source field we are getting, it should be mapped to your target table. Okay, if you don't want any column to be mapped, you can delete actually. So in my file company name we are getting, and same way target table I'm mapping to target table, and product name is mapped to product name, and price name is mapped to price, and location is to location. Okay, all these columns are mapped now. So now if you wanted to, before running, just validate it. Okay, there are no errors. Okay, now I'm going to debug it. Let's run the pipeline. Okay, so the data got loaded. Okay, if you see here in the output section, these are very important in real time. Okay, So now we have only one activity, but real time we have 10 or 20 activities inside this bar. Okay. So if some task got failed, how to debug it? Okay. So these two arrows are very, very important. So first arrow is your input. Okay. So this input contain whatever the information you have given, okay, in the source. So it is in the JSON format. You see, the source is like we are getting all this column. Company name, it's in the string data type, and so data type is a varchar sync. Source and sync mapping, all the columns we get here. If you see here, so this is my source, product is a string, and sync varchar. So all this way we used to get the data types. Now same way check your output, what data you are getting. If you see here, so now in the first read, so here you can see the reads, 281 reads and data written 348 reads. So these are just like to show the DTUs, like DTUs, how the Azure Data Factory read and writes. Okay. So how many files it read? We have only one file. Okay. So if we have 10 files, we used to get the 10 reads here. Okay. So source peak connection 1 and sync peak connection 2. Okay. So this is the first connection and this is the second connection. Okay. And rows read, how many records are there in this file? Okay. In our file, how many records are there? So we have, let me go here and check the record count here. Order product sales, container, orders. So this file you can directly view from here, but if this file is about 200 KB like that, so you cannot view, but till some 1 KB 2 KB you can view here. You see here total how many records are there? 10 records are there, and the 10 reads happen here. So 10 rows read and 10 rows copied into the destination. Copy duration is 8 seconds. Okay. Throughput is this one. So errors, currently there is no error here. Okay. So and the DTU hours. So all these are invalid information you will get. Okay. So these are all the JSON. This is very, very important. This JSON, you will get all the information whether your data is successfully processed or not. You can validate from here itself. Okay. If any failure happen, you can check here. You will get an error message here. Okay. We will do fail also. Okay. If you see here this pet symbol, click on this pet symbol. You will see what is the time it took. Okay, the data read and rate of that the data written. Okay, so here it took 281 bytes and here it took 348 bytes. Okay, in your real time, these data reads and writes based on your data volume, this may get increased. Okay, and why this picture is useful, because you can find out the performance of your system. Okay, so you can check the volume of your source data and volume of data written. Okay, so it reads 10 records, but in your real time you may see that 1 million records or 2 million records. So those kind of things you will get the details and the throughput. So 140 bytes is the throughput. Okay, how it is performing. Okay, throughput, it depends on your throughput. So same copy data activity, if you have 1 million records, it may take like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Okay, so based on your data sizes. Okay, you see here you can get the duration as well. If someone asked you in real time, so what is the time the job took? So it took total this 4-second duration, and transformation is just 2 milliseconds. Okay, like that way you will get all these values. This is very useful. Okay, when you deal with the like durations, you can calculate this durations by using the this spec symbol. You can diagnose, actually it's a diagnostic report. Okay, I can call.